Hello guys, welcome to week 4. I'm going to do something a little different this time around because I know I send a lot of emails and they tend to be pretty lengthy, but it's because I'm literally getting everything out that really matters to me and I think you would benefit from. So all this always comes from a good place, but at the same time, I know that we can only take on so much, especially these days where we're feeling very overwhelmed, and that's the last thing I want to do. But at the same time, this is a boot camp that I'm putting together, and this is just all the extra little bonuses that come with it. So I really want to make sure that you're getting the full benefit and just trying different platforms, different mediums of how to speak to you, how to reach you, how for you to connect with me. And sometimes it can be through email and sometimes it can be through video. So this time I'm trying video. So we're on week 4, and what a whirlwind it has been so far. I hope that you're enjoying the boot camps. I hope that you're benefiting, feeling stronger, feeling a lot more endurance when you're, working out and getting a heart rate up and can work with it a lot more. And as well as getting confidence in the exercises as well as yourself and how you show up. So good job. Good job. I hope you're giving yourself a pat on the back. This is also my Marilyn poster in the back. So if you see like random legs, it's Marilyn, and she's doing some boat poses and just some ab exercise. She's just so fun and cute. So that's her in the background right there. So this week we're going to be talking about eating slowly. And as someone that can put up my hand right away that has trouble eating slowly, this has been something that's happened since I was a little kid. I don't know if it's being at the dinner table with my siblings. I'm one of 3 siblings, the oldest, and I always felt like I had to eat fast so I can get seconds. And like literally that's how I always approached it. But also, competition taught me to eat fast too, because you're hungry. So when you're dieting and you're going through all this transition, your metabolism's on fire and you just want to eat. So eating fast is definitely something that comes naturally to me. And I have to take my time and remind myself still to this day. And although I am way better at it, it's still something I constantly have to remind myself to do. So when I'm speaking of all these weeks to you and drinking water, moving your body, making time for you, and et cetera, it is because literally the more you talk about it, the more I bring it up, the more you're going to be much more aware to include it in your life. So all of this comes from a very good place. So don't think that you're failing by any stretch. These are just little tidbits and reminders of, what makes our life, what makes our lifestyle, what makes us feel good. And these tend to be put on the back burner because other things come up. So know that this always comes from a good place, and I am still a work in progress. This is not meant to be perfect. This is meant to help you show up better for yourself and just, do the best that you can each and every single week to every single month to each and every single year. This is constant work in progress. So eating slowly, why I love this so much is because this can help us from stop to overeating. So when we're eating slowly, our digestion can catch up with us. Whereas if we eat fast, and this is something that I know all too good, all of a sudden you're like, whew, and all of a sudden you just feel like a wave of like, holy shit, I am so full right now because nothing is digesting. So when you're eating slowly, I'm going to give little tips because I have my computer right beside me so I don't forget anything. Know that eating slowly will help you not to overeat. So that's number 1, because that's something that we all tend to do, especially when it comes to sweets or munchies and we're hungry or we're eating when we're watching Netflix. We tend to overeat because we're being mindless about it, right? So these are just body cues and body awarenesses for you to help get yourself being more in line with your body and what it actually needs to thrive. So that when you do that, you recognize the signals that are happening. So I'm going to give you 9 tips as to what can help you to figure out, little cues for yourself to remind yourself on a daily basis on what you can do to eat slowly. So the first one, putting down the fork after each and every single bite. That is a really good tidbit to take away from because it gives you a moment to breathe. It gives you a moment to sit and reflect exactly what you're feeling. How are you enjoying the witty conversations that are happening around you? As well as sitting down. Number 2, sitting down in a calm environment with minimal distractions. So, sometimes it's nice to sit in front of the TV and just unwind. Believe me, that I'm one person that gets that 120%. But sometimes it's really nice to eat at the table, with your your friends. Or I know Friends is like, that one came out. I know we're in a pandemic, but you know what? Sometimes you need to work on your mental health a bit. So eating with friends, I'm all for it, but it's where you're comfortable. But eating with your family and catching up and seeing how they're doing, that can tends to like help you to slow down, eat, and then keep talking and blah, blah, blah. The next one, number 3, is choose high fiber foods because one, it takes more time to chew. So like for instance, fruits and veggies, they take a little bit longer to chew as opposed to like saying a sweet potato where you're eating it and it just kind of meshes in your mouth and like, and you're on to the next bite. So fresh and fiber foods tend to help you to digest, and also it's really good for your, your system, your bowels, and all that good little tidbits right there. Number 4, try setting a minimum number choose per bite. This one I can't do, but this is one that's on there because some people love numbers. Some people are way more analytical. So chewing like, 15 to 20 bites per chew will help you to just focus on, maybe it's meditative, I don't know, but I mean, sometimes it just will get you in that habit of continuously doing it after you do it a few times. This is one that I do a lot of, is use smaller plates. And I have it beside. This is one that I tend to do a lot of. Me and Kevin, I definitely go for the smaller plates because I honestly love seeing my plate full of food. So the smaller plate that I have, the more I feel like, oh, I have a lot to eat. And I'm one, like you said, like I don't know if this comes from when I was younger, but I love seeing a big plate. I love having seconds. So this one tends to help me stay in my only one plate. That's all I need because I tend to feel good after that one plate. If you find yourself rushing, put your utensils down and take a minute to refocus. So I know I said this at the beginning, so it's kind of like the same one as the first one, putting your fork down after every bite, take a moment, breathe, but having the conversation. So this, again, if you're by yourself, this is just like another reminder for yourself to, refocus and, know that if slow eating, it will take practice. So number 7, if you're a slow eater, if you find another slow eater, oh, this is a great one. My mother-in-law is a slow eater. She definitely, it's literally like a 30 to 45 minute meal with her. And I don't know how. And that's only after the first course or whatever. So it's crazy. So yes, when you tend to be around other slow eaters, you tend to eat a lot more slowly because, when you have your mother-in-law and she's still eating, you're sitting having a conversation. So, and because I know that she's a slow eater, I tend to pace myself down because, as we know, I'm not a slow eater. And I'm just being raw and real. Like literally, this is just stuff that like I found along the way. These are tidbits that I hope that help you. Number 8, set aside time to eat. So 20 to 30 minutes per meal and preferably even longer at the dinner table to catch up. So this is another one, kind of the same one like I just spoke of with finding another slow eater. Setting time aside, literally making this a part of your routine, part of your schedule. Like because, we're in such a crazy day these times, like where you're either really catching up with your family or you're really just like, in this rut and you're trying to figure out ways to change it up and to embrace it a little bit more. So setting time aside and literally saying, this is our family time. This is what we're up to. We're going to connect. I'd love to find out what's happening more in your day, how you're doing, having some jokes and like talking about old times. Like those tend to be really like elongate the conversation a lot more. Also, what Kevin and I do, we tend to have fondues, and that, we cook our food right in like with the fondue, making like a broth. Or, we have sometimes a Korean plate that is with a fondue. So we'll like just fry up our meats that way. So these are just, again, other like ideas to like really make it a lot more enjoyable, because slow eating can just be monotonous and like, oh, bleh, slow eating. But when you really think about it, slow eating tends to really help us connect with ourselves, connect with our family, connect with our body. It's kind of meditative when you really look at the whole picture. So I hope that this conversation, me and you just chatting and having a conversation, even though it's me just talking at you, but you totally get where I'm talking about, where I hope this was a different medium for me to connect with you, for you to enjoy, and gives you ideas of what you can do to connect with yourself and the people around you that you love. Have yourself a great week, guys. I hope that you enjoy this. Bye-bye.